Okay, let's talk FPC connectors. This is more or less by request. Um, so what I'm going to go over here is removal of an FPC connector that you want to keep intact. So let's say you're trying to remove an FPC connector from a donor board so that you can use on another board. You're not always going to have every connector in stock, so it's a good skill to learn to pull these intact. So we'll go over that first, and then we'll go back with go over soldering them back on. And I might go over, might do a couple of sizes. I have this, and see, I think I've got just the iPad one laying around. Yeah, we can go over that one, and we can do an iPad one as well. But like I said, the first thing I'm going to go over is pulling them intact. So these are the temperatures I'm going to be starting out with. I'm guessing it's been a little while since I've had to pull a donor connector, so it's more a guesstimation attempts. If I change them, I will let you know while I'm turning on my equipment here. Probably won't use the Pico pencil, and for this exercise I'll probably be just mixing in lead and solder rather than doing the whole cleanup and wicking. So first one we'll start with is an iPhone board. Don't ask me which one. I can show you the board number if you want. (820-3486A). You feel free to look it up. I don't really care. I'm just trying to do a demonstration on connectors. All right. I am going to change my glove. I am going to lower my air down to 60%. I believe that's what I do it at. Of course, I don't think I've done this since I've gotten the Atom, so this could be a little bit of a exercise as far as trying to figure out what I'm doing. Do I want to use a smaller nozzle? I think I do. All right. Grab adequate tweezers. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a board holder. So we're not fighting that as well. All right. Okay. With pulling them, it's all really about timing. You want to take the air off immediately when you're ready to pull. You don't want to be blowing air on it once you have pulled it from the board and the board is no longer able to disperse the heat or mitigate the heat. I also use a lot of nozzle movement. You generally don't want the hot air to be in one spot for very long. I get complaints that I'm always zoomed in too much, but I need to be able to see what the heck I'm doing. I need to be able to see the solder go wet. And this requires some patience. Trying not to burn the connector or melt it. Like I said, I may have to do some calibration here. Okay, just like that. And you pull the air, immediately when you're ready to pull that connector, you pull the air off. Okay, I'm going to set that aside, and we'll pull one more just to get that timing down a little bit better. We'll pull a big one. At 380, it doesn't appear that I need to be real rapid on the movement. It doesn't seem to be threatening to burn the connectors, but the weaker the connectors, the more you need to move that air. Now these are a little bit easier because they just still have the metal brackets at the ends. You get some of these connectors that really don't have much metal on them at all. I'm sure you're not seeing hardly any of that. Okay, move the air immediately when you start pulling the connector. My timing wasn't real good on that one. I was lucky I didn't burn the connector, honestly. Or melt the connector, rather. Alright, let's go over placement. I'm just going to replace, or not replace, I'm just going to mix in leaded solder and try to flatten out the anchors as much as I can. The anchors are what can be really problematic about placing a connector like this. So I'm just going to mix in some leaded. So we lower the temperature. Okay, now I'm going to clean off the tip a bit and see if I can select down these anchors a bit. I want them to have solder on them, but I don't want them to be sitting high. Seems reasonable. Alright, let's grab our connector again. And all we're going to do is put it back on. Line it up decently. Again, you're probably not seeing any of this. Wonderful alignment of what I see and what you see is fantastic. And there's a timing trick to this, because you pretty much have got to at some point press this connector down. At least that's been my experience. Other people may have different methods. I'm having a hard time getting this thing aligned. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get in pretty close on this so that I can see the solder, and I can tell we're already a little bit off from where I want to be. That's better. Now we're just looking for signs that the solder is melting. Or wetting. Okay, I think we're wetting now. I want to get good on these anchor points. They're quite a bit bigger than the pins. Okay. And as I remove the air, shoot, I didn't do that very well. But as I remove the air, I'm going to tap down. On the connector. Right. Let's clean and see how we did on that. Typically you wouldn't want to nudge the connector when you go to tap it down, but I did. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've done this particular work. Okay, freaking board holder. Don't need my board jerking out of the damn board holder when I'm trying to clean. Okay, I'm not real worried about the cleaning on my donor board, but let's have a look at our joints. Okay, everything looks good on that side. Anchors are down, every pin is down. Let's find where we are. And everything looks good on that side. Anchors are down, and every pin is down. So even though we kind of flubbed it, we were still able to pin it down. So let's go ahead and do the little one. Hopefully a little bit smoother than we did the big one. And my demonstration so far is not all that great, but hopefully you're getting the idea. Always remove the air before you go in to tap it down. You're really trying to do it, the timing is you want to remove the air, but before the solder dries, you want to press that connector down. So that's the goal. It does take a little bit of timing and coordination. Okay, now we're going to clean the tip off. I'm going to try to flatten out these anchors as much as I can. All right, looks reasonably good. I am not going to worry about cleaning up the flux. Okay, let's grab our connector. And align him. I have not changed my temperature or airflow, so still 380 at 60. I might go higher on the iPads. You are definitely liking to stick to my tweezers here. Alright, let's line these pins up as best we can. We are very misaligned. That looks pretty reasonable. I'm just going to go in around for a little bit while we warm up the area. Okay, now we'll start coming in a little bit, concentrating a little more. Get all those joints wetted. I do need to get those anchor joints too. Okay, I'm going to remove the air, and I'm going to press down. Let it dry. I think I noticed it a little bit, but I don't think it was catastrophic. All right, let's have a look at that one. All those joints look good to me on that side. And every joint looks like it is making connection on that side. So that's how I do those. Let me grab an iPad. iPads, I believe, will take a little more time to deal with because of the heat dissipation. Then we might have to raise our temperature a bit. I can't quite remember the last one I did. Like I said, I think the last one I did was pre-Atom, so it was a while back. People haven't been breaking enough connectors. Some of these techs have been slacking. We'll try with just temperature and airflow though. Right now we're just trying to warm up the area. Now we'll start concentrating in a bit. This may be too low for this job. iPad's taking significantly more heat than an iPhone, generally speaking. I need to change my angle because I can't grab onto the connector and that where I am at. Okay. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing it with the Atom, so we're probably going to have to bump that temperature up a bit to, I'm thinking, let's try 420. Maybe let's just go up incrementally. Let's go up to 400. I'm going to be calibrating my connector removal here while I'm trying to show you all this, while I'm trying to demonstrate this to you. Yeah, we're still not making any headway on that. We're gonna, instead of going incremental, we're gonna jump up to 450. And 99. 450 and 99. I think we'll probably want to do some rapid air movement on this because there's a likely chance we could burn something else at these temperatures. So you don't want to keep air, kind of want to keep the air moving. Alright, now we're getting progress. Okay, oops. Just threw my air, but anyway, I did remove the air at the same time as we pulled the connector. That's key. You want to have the airflow off the connector when you pull it. Otherwise, it will melt right there in your tweezers. Okay. Set it aside. We'll clean this area. This is a donor board, so I'm not really worried about the nudged part there. I guess we could nudge it back into place though. That is a donor part. Alright. Alright. So we'll do the same thing on this one. We'll just replace the, well, we won't replace it, but we'll mix in some leaded. Depending on the situation, I will sometimes replace it. But a lot of times it's adequate just to mix in some leaded. And squeeze out the last bit of flux I can get out of this thing. We've used up this one in record time. Alright, let's clean it off and see if we can flatten out those anchors a bit. You definitely want to flatten the anchors, otherwise the connector will bridge. Will basically act like a suspension bridge, with those as their primary spots. And then you can have a real challenge if you're having to sit there and try and solder the connector pin by pin. It can be and believe me, my first times doing these, that's exactly how I had to do them. I had to do them pin by pin, and it was kind of a nightmare before I got the Pico pencil, and it's still a nightmare even if you have the Pico pencil, because there's not much room for soldering on those pins. It's a bit of an adventure. Doable with a Pico pencil, but not by any means fun. This technique is actually not that old for me. These connectors were a bit of a challenge for a long time. But like everything, you just gotta keep practicing and keep going at it. For this, I'm going to, I'm sorry, I'm not going to lower the temperature. I am going to lower my airspeed to 60%. Because I don't want to blow the connector away. Already nudging it off the dang pads, which is not ideal. Alright, you're being exceptionally uncooperative. Warm up our area. We're at 450, 60%. Okay, we're wetting the solder now. You want to hit those anchor points real good. Now we're going to time this where I move the air and press down. Might be a little bit crooked on this connector, but if every pin is making connection and aligned, alright, those are all making connection. Beautiful. Check these end ones here. And they are all connected. Very good. So not perfectly aligned, but they do not have to be perfect. They do have to be, every pin needs to be making connection. And you can always go in there and reflow it and nudge it, whatever, but all right, let me grab that iPhone one more time. We'll do one more connector on it, just to end it with a better demonstration. All right, for this one we're going back to 380, and we'll go back to 60%. And at the end of this video, I'll do one more temperature card with the updated temperatures. All right. So I'm pretty sure with this one, we kind of want to do some air movement, but we'll see. We are using kind of a small nozzle, so. There we go. Now we're getting some of the rest of this flux out. But I still see flux in there, dang it. Let me have it. All right. One more here for you. Okay, move the air, pull. All right, set him aside. We will mix in some lidded. Okay. Now we'll clean off our tip so we can suck down these anchor points, small as possible, but still have solder on them. All right. Grab our connector again. See if we can get him aligned. Okay, we will not be changing temperature or airflow on this one. I feel like we've gotten a little far out there here. Having an alignment issue. Okay, let's get in these anchor points real good. Everything flowing real good. Remove the air, press down. Okay, let's take a look and see how we did. This connector's a little harder to see. Oh yeah, we did a very good job on that side. Let's see how we did on this side. And a very good job on this side. All anchor points are down. Let me make sure you can see. I'm going to bring in some extra light just so you can see what I'm seeing. All right. Every pin, anchors are down. Every pin is connecting. Flip it back over. Let you see the other side. Every pin is down. Every anchor is connected. Okay, that's really all I have to show you on the FPCs. Like I said, this was kind of by request. Oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and update the temperature card here, and I'll be right back, and we'll go over the technique one more time. Okay, so final results on the removals. So these were the final temperatures. I rarely ever change my iron temperatures, so I will occasionally if I'm working on a BGA or something like that, and I'll let you know when I do that. But those are generally the iron temperatures. So these are the updated Atten temperatures. So 450C at a high 99% airflow for the iPad connectors. I did lower it down to 60% when putting it back on. On the iPhone, I did 380C at 60%, and I never changed it for removal or placement. We didn't burn any connectors around them or anything like that. It was a good working temperature, at least here in my climate, high altitude, dry. Today it's pretty cool, so that can make a difference. Really, that's all I had to show you. I hope you found this, or I hope you find this valuable, or at least get something out of it that you can use. If you have any questions about the equipment I used in this video, they're all linked down in the description below. If you like this type of video or like any of my videos, hit the subscribe button, maybe hit the notification bell, and you want to see more of this type of content. And if you like this video, hit the like button. That's really all I had to ask of you. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.